Hello, and welcome back to Claiming Your Success. Conversations with Caroline and Sabrina. Week 4,
Week 4.
episode 7?
7.
7?
7.
Oh, gosh, I can't keep up. And you
know.
know what, right? Jumping on here, 4 weeks in, and thinking back, like me and Sabrina have done 7 podcasts, providing value, and I thought today, me and Sabrina haven't checked in. The whole point of this podcast, where this podcast came from, was the back of me and Sabrina having inspiring conversations, guiding, supporting, helping each other, especially when we have our tough times. You know, yes, we're in 2 different businesses. However, we can't. They run the same. You know, anything I go through, I then was sharing with Sabrina. She was doing the same, and that's where our fire conversation was igniting. And then it was just like, hold up a minute, we haven't even checked in with each other. So then we've just thought, we're just going to have our general conversation today, and you lot are going to listen in. Because life's with us. What do you think, Sabrina?
I love that idea so much. And I think it's a shift in gears, like a change in gears, that hopefully exactly what you just said will help whoever's listening who may be going through it and thinking that there's something wrong with them because they're going through it, can listen to what we go through and be like, oh, so this is just part of it. Okay.
Yes, it's part of the journey, because I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks, OMG, even down to what you haven't even seen behind the scenes. I've had to reschedule the podcast the last 2 weeks, right, Sabrina? 2 weeks with things I couldn't control, you know, and then Sabrina's adapted to that. Sabrina's been traveling. So it's been a lot for us as well. But it's the fact that we still continue to show up and stick to the plan, you know, regardless of what is going on. How you been, Sabrina?
Oh, man. This T-shirt says here for the good times. Also here for the hard times and the struggle times and the what the F is happening times too. Because it all is part of the process. And Kaz, this whole year has been something. This whole year has been really challenging for me personally with my personal life, as well as, you know, there's a big shift that happened in my business just 2 and a bit weeks ago.
Right, still fresh.
Still fresh, that I'm supposed to just be, okay, let's move forward and just find a way. And that's what I'm doing, but it doesn't stop it from being hard, right?
Yep.
And I think just what you said about we find a way, we do, don't we? Like, regardless of what it is that we're going through, we find a way to keep showing up. And I think that's the thing that makes or breaks someone's success, I think, is being able to keep going even when it's hard.
It is. And if anything, that, like, now me stepping into the last quarter, of the year, I know that's where work picks up. And, you know, that's where a lot of my energy is taken, not just in mentally, but this is physically now, because I've got the late nights, I've got the early starts, I'm going to have the longer shifts. It's going to be busy where I've got to be serving about 10 customers at a time, and at the same time watching the floor and all of that. That's work. That's just work I'm telling you about for the next 3 months.
Stock taking, merchandising, all this stuff.
All of it.
Doing people's rosters, all of it.
And then what I used to find challenging was balancing both, you know, and that's where business always took the hit, because I thought I had to prioritize work, when what I've done probably consistently this year and last year was that I've managed to balance both, you know, and this quarter, I'm actually stepping into the last 3 months knowing how I can juggle it and not have to be overwhelmed or think I have to do this or that or anything like that. I've now found my rhythm and my flow, but it did take a while for me to get there, you know.
What do you think changed for you, Caroline? Like, what was it that enabled you to, like, I hate the word balance, because I don't think it exists really, but find that ability to be in that deep work mode in your day job, as we call it, but then still also make time for your business? What shifted?
It's a few things, right? It's going to be seeing other people continue to show up and continue to be successful, and then you then start to feel bad that you then let yourself slip. It's like when you make the excuses and then you then realize that, why did you stop? You actually, when you look back, I actually did have 30 minutes that day. I did have, 20 minutes that day. And it's like, it's something that always sticks into my head. If, you know, if someone's not seeing, if you're not showing up enough, someone else is going to claim that success that was meant to be yours because you're not doing it. So there's that, you know, again, that touched on one of our episodes where we said making sure you're having someone inspiring that you're, you know, watching, because they will keep you going. They will, especially when they share the hard times. Sabrina, you're one of those people for me that share the hard times, you know, and keep me going. And then mindset, big one, personal development, you know. And it was just that, where I've gone through so much hard times and continue to push through, it's just a pattern. It's just repetitive, you know. And it's understanding that life, there's always going to be situations in life, always. And that's something people think doesn't happen to positive people, you know, but it does. We just choose not to focus on it. And it's like, because we've been through this journey, me and Sabrina, we now know how not to focus on it. I used to be that way, you know. What about you?
I think it's just, everything that you just said is so powerful, and I hope people can listen to it and actually really take that lesson of it's never what happens, it's always what you make it mean.
Yes.
Right? It's not what happens that's the problem. It's not that you're overwhelmed at work. It's not that you're busy. It's not that you had a fight with your spouse. It's none of that stuff. What happened isn't the thing. It's what you made it mean about yourself. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
When you're overwhelmed at work, I'm not strong enough to be able to do all this stuff. So you make that mean, right?
Yeah.
You have a fight with your spouse. Oh, I knew I was unlovable. People have always tried to tell me that I'm not lovable, and this is just proof. You have a moment where you have a struggle in your business or a setback. Oh, I knew that I was never going to be successful. This is for people that don't look like me or come from where I came from.
Yeah.
It's not for me. Can you see how it's not what happens that is the stumbling block? It's the thing that you make it mean about yourself. So if you start to do the mindset work and the healing work to be able to take an obstacle and just see it for what it is, this is an overwhelming time at work. Okay, I got to figure out a new system or a new routine or a new plan for my actions and my schedule for the next 3 months. Had a fight with my spouse. Okay, we need to sit down and figure out how we communicate and make sure that we set boundaries or a way to move forward. Or this thing happened in my business and it's a big setback. Okay, how can I replan and reschedule like my attention of what needs to happen next in order to get over this stumbling block? Notice how all of that took me out of the equation.
Yes.
It was about what happened and then making a plan to move forward. Whenever we insert ourselves and a meaning associated with ourselves into what happens, that's when shit hits the fan.
It's so
right.
So true. It is. It's so
That's
true.
when it all goes terribly wrong. It all goes terribly wrong when we start to make it mean something about ourselves.
And something that just came to me just then. Oh no, it's gone again. It went. It will come. It will come back. It will come back. But
I see this all the time with people. I see it all the time with people, and even like in my personal life, certain relationships and certain things that happen and how people react. It's like if you took that reaction or if you took that response out of whatever it is that happened, then the fallout that we're dealing with would not be what we're dealing with. It wouldn't have the oh my God, like spectacular, dissolution of all of this if that response hadn't been attached to the thing that happened.
Yeah. No, totally agree.
And I think sometimes we have to have the self-awareness or even just the humility, being humble enough to look at how our life is and think to ourselves, what did I do to make some of this? Not necessarily that it's your fault, but what part did I play in this?
It just makes me think, where you said not necessarily our fault, what I used to do, exactly where I've got the busy time coming up, it's like it's the journey, it's stages. You know, I used to, when it got busy, stop doing everything, focus on that, and then I would complain it was hard. Exactly what you said, make it about me, say I can't do it, how am I going to get through it? you know? And then, so I would moan about it, then I would realize I did it, you know? And then I'll do that same pattern again, moan about it, but then I did it, you know? Then I started moaning whilst doing it. And then somewhere along the line, it was like, Caroline, what are you moaning for? You know you can do it, just do it. You know, that's kind of how it's been for me. So you're so right, because I did used to make it about me. I can't do it. This is too hard for me. How am I going to get through it? Who's going to help me? Just go, no. And now it's like, I do it, and then I'm seeing people just following me and doing it as well. You know, so that then takes a lot of the weight off. Touching a lot today already.
And isn't it madness? Isn't it madness? Like everything that you just said, sorry, I always want to sit back and just be like, let me reflect. And then I'm like, no, I have to be right here with the mic. Watch the video if you're just listening to that, because the video is good. Anyway, I always think like, isn't it madness to think like we're going through a season and it's a thing that happens all the time. It's a thing that you know is going to happen all the time. And you still get mad about it. We still get like pissed off that it's hard. We still get upset that that's like the holiday season coming up, Christmas, Thanksgiving here in the US, all of that coming up. You know that you're going to have to spend time with members of your family that you don't necessarily enjoy spending time with, right? And they do they do the BS that they always do. They say the things they always do. They behave the same way they always do. They do the things they always do. And you still get mad that they do it. You still get upset that they do it. You're still surprised that they do it. And it's like, this has been a pattern for 30 Christmases. Why are you still shocked?
Right. That's one thing I have stopped doing, I think, the last 2.5 years, is expecting from others. And that is a big thing that people have to stop doing. You have to stop expecting. Because when you stop doing that, you then actually realize you're not, because when you are expecting, you're actually hurting yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because you're expecting something from that person, what you know they ain't going to do, but you're expecting it. And when they don't do it, you're getting more angry. Am I making sense here? That sounded like a big tongue twister. But it's like, that's another thing as well. When you put your expectations down, oh my gosh, that is just such game changing, because that was a big one for me. That was a big one for me.
And it's not even necessarily lowering your expectations, because I think that can be like shaky ground. Because I think we all should have high expectations of ourselves and the people we associate with. So it's not about lowering your expectations. It's just not having an expectations that people are going to be different than you know them to be.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not about having low expectations. It's just not expecting people to be different than you know them to be. If you know that homegirl over there, that's the way that she is, stop expecting her to be different. If you know homeboy over there, that's how he is, stop expecting him to be different. Can you claim over them that they grow and that they heal and that they welcome in whatever they need for their lives to be better and to get out of the crap that's going on in their head so that they stop being an a-hole in real life? Yes, you can do that. But expecting them to be different than you know them to be, exactly what you said, Caroline, it's just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Literally.
And we don't need that.
And then it's literally, all I could say on the back of that is that you can't tell people how they need to be. If anything, show them. Showing them is so much more powerful. Sorry, I have to share this. I'm really comfortable on this podcast apparently. I was actually about to burp, guys. My burp isn't a little... It's a... I'm so sorry. I had to think for a minute. I was like, Caroline, you on
microphone.
The echoing. Oh, so gosh. Funny. But Sabrina, I do want to ask, how are you doing? How's the last couple of weeks? How's everything? How are you feeling? And even that, where we're on week 4, you know, it's checking off the podcast. How are we feeling with podcasts? How are you feeling like the last 6 episodes have been for yourself? Like, what, yeah.
Thank you for asking me. I appreciate that, first of all. And second of all, I honestly cannot tell you how much of a godsend this podcast has been. You know, we were supposed to start this, and I think I've shared this, but we were supposed to start this in
we
April.
Gonna keep sharing it.
Was it March or April?
March 21st.
Thank you.
I got the message.
Caroline knows. March 21st, we were supposed to launch episode 1. We didn't launch episode 1 until September 30th. But you know what also happened on September 30th? That's the day that my network marketing business kind of imploded. That's
Yeah.
also the day that some things happened in my personal life that have just rocked me to my core. And so I'm a firm believer that things happen in their own divine timing. And if it wasn't for this over the last 4 weeks, I'm, you know, I always get vulnerable and share the truth of how I'm feeling, but I honestly don't know how I would be doing,
Oh,
because
man.
it's just been a lot,
Yeah.
emotionally it's been a lot. So to have this, to not only focus my energy on, but to really be landing my feet in what
Yes.
it is that I truly believe that I was put on this earth to do, which is to serve others, empower others, create community, be in connection, like teaching others that they can, and reminding them of their worth and their value, being fully immersed in doing that with you over the last 4 weeks. It has given me everything to continue to show up for. And I'm so grateful. The fact that I'm not crying right now is miraculous.
Don't worry, because I'm going to do it for you, because my period a week late. I'm sitting there like, come on, Sabrina, calm down. It's going to come out.
Because honestly, I get so emotional about that. Again, with the divine timing thing, like I truly feel like, regardless of what you believe in, if you believe in a god, or you believe in universe, you believe in energy, whatever it is that you believe in, I feel so protected in
Yeah.
this season of hard, because this happened just when it was supposed to happen. And I'm just so grateful for that. So even amongst, to answer your question, and that was a very long-winded answer to that question, but to answer your question of how am I doing, I'm sitting in surrender, I think,
Yeah.
is the best way to put it. I'm kind of still doing the things,
Yeah.
I'm still working on this next era of what business looks like for me. I'm still showing up. I'm still serving my corner of the universe. I'm still creating community and finding ways to continue to do what I love. I'm still doing the things, but I'm doing it in an energy of peace and surrender
Yes.
and ease, and I'm not going to stress about it, and I'm going to feel
Mm-hmm.
sad when I need to feel sad, and I'm going to feel
Yes.
excited when it feels right to be excited, and I'm just going to be with myself, and that
Nice.
feels really, really good.
No, that's good. And then what are you looking forward to the last 2 months of the year?
Wow. We're going on vacation in 2 weeks. Gio and I are heading to my absolute favorite place on the planet, for 10 days of just,
Yes.
oh, and I cannot wait for that. And then I always like because it's a long way that we're going. So I use the time on the plane and time in airports and all that kind of stuff to get into my goal setting and vision setting for the following year. And I start all of that during that time. And then when we get back, I start my 2025 like action plan. Like most people start, their new year goals on January 1st or whatever. I always start my new year stuff at the back end of November. I always get that kind of like jump start into the new year, so that when the new year starts, I'm already in a flow. I've already got momentum. I'm already just doing the things. And so I'm just excited to get some clarity around some things while I'm away in my favorite
Yeah.
place on the planet that just makes me feel so peaceful. And then to come back and just be in like full on 2025. What are you going to bring? What are we going to create? Like in that mode. That's what I'm looking forward to most.
Love it. I feel like me and you have a similar pattern because we both love going on holidays, right? And we know that we have to graft for a few months and then we have that holiday, So I feel like now we're both coming up to having our time off from everything, And that's where we're both that's our literally our moment. And we just get to switch off, not have to do anything. And that is where you're with your thoughts. And it's like, that's where it's like all the light bulb moments start to come. So I cannot wait for when you come back to hear all about it and how we're both going to feel refreshed, re-energized, like just everything. Oh, it's just going to be great. It's going to be
It's
great.
going
I
to
know
be
we
so
both
great.
need it.
We both need it. We both
Yeah.
need it. So same question to you, Caroline. How are you feeling with everything that's been going on the last few months? How are you feeling with this that we're doing together here? And what are you looking forward to most for the rest of the year?
Podcast. I'm absolutely loving. Honestly, it's been such. It's exactly the same as you. You know, I knew I needed that next level up. You know, and I didn't realize it was the podcast. I was stepping into the new writing proved me, and it was like podcast is that next step. So where I'm managing to keep consistent with everything, this is what I wanted to then add on. For me, they say with every level brings a new devil, and I feel like I'm really in that, in the thick of it at the minute. You know, without touching on too many different things, I've got a few things going on. I've achieved a few things the last few weeks. And then it's even that, you know, with success, it comes more negativity, or I don't know, like it just seems that there's more around me at the minute, and my circle's getting smaller and smaller as I'm achieving more and more. And it frustrates me, Sabrina. It frustrates me because I'm not here for people to look at me as if to say they can't achieve what I'm achieving or they can't have what they have. If anything, I'm sharing it to show you, to show everyone that you can have it. That's why I'm sharing it. So to see that people are taking a step back, I don't like it. But then I need to also understand that, yes, not everyone's meant for me. And also I'm opening up doors to meeting the people that maybe are meant for me. But it is frustrating. And, you know, it's like, especially when I see a lot of belief in people and then they don't see it in themselves. That, I don't know why it eats me up, but it just does. Maybe it's something I need to work on so it doesn't affect me too much. But that's how it's pretty much been the last couple of weeks. And it's been tough all around with everything you see me share on social media, listeners, if you follow me. And then it's like I said on the weekend to a couple of my family members, literally said to my brother and my cousin, when you see me showing up on social media 10 times harder than you ever have before, or you think, oh, Caroline's posting a lot. Oh, why am I seeing Caroline again? Just know I'm probably down through the thick of it. And the reason why I'm showing up more is because I'm putting all my energy into what makes me feel good and to what I want to keep focusing on. And if anything, I do that as a reminder as to why I'm doing this, because it's so easy to get distracted, and it's so easy to let the negative and all of that just make you not want to show up and not want to do anything. Ugh, honestly, I still overthink. I still have the doubts, you know? And then it's even that, knowing that I'm coming home to a podcast to record with you, Sabrina, it's just like, nah, Caroline, brush them shoulders. What's it? If you're feeling like go and brush your shoulders off.
Yes.
So
Exactly
sorry, that was
a lot. No, I think it was just thank you for like being so vulnerable with that answer, because I think it's everything that you said is so true. And I just want to, the thing that you said about how it eats you up when people don't, you see so much potential in somebody and they don't see it in themselves, and it really affects you. Don't get rid of that, because I think that's what makes us the leaders that we are, is that we do see the potential in people, and it does affect us when somebody doesn't see it in themselves and they quit, or they give up, or they, you know, just don't follow through. They don't do the things that, you know, will elevate them in the ways that they want. Don't get rid of that, because that's what makes us have the foresight and have the vision for better, which is what is, you know, it helps us serve those people. I don't know whether you can do that without being personally, emotionally invested, you know, a little bit. I've seen people in business that don't have that, where every relationship is very transactional. And that's not the kind of leader I want to be.
No. I think it's where, maybe I worded it a bit wrong. I think it's knowing how much of myself to give. I think it's that what I'm always more saying, you know, because I can give so much to someone and get so little back. And then sometimes I will continue doing that. And that was something I had to recognize, setting the boundary, you know, of how much to give, and to see if I'm giving more and then I'm getting back, you know. So maybe it's that outlook as well. But then I know it's a tough time. You know, I know it's growing you and working on business and everything you're doing, it's meant to be hard. And that's something I've now understand. So I know that when it's hard, I know I have to keep going. But that's something, again, that I've had to learn along the way. Just
What are
it's
you
tough.
most looking forward to for the rest of the year?
Listen, team, I can't say Christmas because my ass works over Christmas, Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. I can't even have a nice drink. um, so definitely some time away. And, you know, I look forward to the busy time because the team are like, I love you. One thing everyone has to start doing is loving. If you're working, if you have a full-time job, you need to find one that you really enjoy. I enjoy my job, right? I never used to think, I never used to, right? I never used to, but I enjoy my job, and I enjoy the people I'm around at work, and knowing that if anything, they're all off college, they're off uni, I get to have them full-time, and we are all together, and it is just crazy busy. I look forward to that. And then also Christmas Day. What I tend to do is go to my mum's the first half, then go to my dad's the second half. And that's what I usually do. So I am looking forward to doing that. Yes, I have 2 dinners. Your girl has 2 dinners. Actually 3, because Tar brings one home.
I love it. 3 dinners on Christmas. That's what Christmas is for. That's what Christmas is for.
Oh, Sabrina, where are you going to be? Are you going to come down to the UK to see the family? You're going to be in America?
No, we're going to be in America. My mum is actually going to be visiting. It's her 70th birthday this year. Her birthday's on the 29th of December. And her twin brother lives like 3.5 hours away from us where we are now. So they're going to do a birthday thing together. So she's spending the first half of her trip with him. And then we're going to go and pick her up and spend the day, all of us together. And then we're going to bring her back here for the second half of the trip.
I want to ask. Because it's the first time it's the first Christmas in your new house.
It's the first Christmas in our new house. I know. So it's just going to be relaxed, but it's a milestone because it's, first Christmas, first big holiday in our new home. And I'm just really looking forward to just like being, just exhale. That's what that time of the year feels like to me. It's just like a massive exhale.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that's something that we can all lean into. And if for anybody that's listening, where the holiday season, Thanksgiving here in the US, Christmas for everybody isn't a time of the year where it feels peaceful to you, because maybe you have to be with people that you don't want to be with, or you've just got certain, negative feelings about this time of the year, find a way to make it peaceful for you. Because here's the thing, we never know when the last time is going to be the last time, right? We never know. And not to be morbid about it, but we never know when. I didn't know that this last corporate event, big conference that we had in June was the last time that I was going to be with all of my team. Right? I didn't know those were going to be the last hugs. I didn't know that was going to be my last big group workout. I didn't know that all of those moments were going to be the last, with certain things that are happening in my family, my personal life. I didn't know that the last time we were all together as that specific family unit was going to be the last time.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about your life, you never know, like, there's too much at stake to kind of be okay with feeling crappy.
Yeah.
Right? There's too much at stake. It's our lives that we're talking about. And I think so often we get into this very like, it is what it is kind of mentality of whatever. And we kind of get very resigned to life. Oh, this is just whatever. This is how it is. No, that's not how it is. That's how you're choosing for it to be. So how about we all make a vow that the things that we don't love, we're going to change them. The things that suck our joy away, we're going to give less of our energy to that.
Please,
the things that we don't want to do, we're going to find a way to do less of that. Yes. Right? Our life and the vitality of our life is what is at stake. And I think it's so important to be intentional about enjoying it.
Yeah. And something's just come to mind, because I would say, how can I put this? Just quickly before we finish up. I want to just touch on Christmas, just because, right, I'm not a big Christmas person, and that could be for numerous reasons, right? I still haven't kind of understood why. It could be where I've been in retail for 18 years. I've never had the chance to fully enjoy it. Could be where, family stuff and, let's not go there. But I just want to say, because I do have a few people that are not Christmas people like me. Last year, I shared a lot of the Grinch on my social media. I'm doing that again this year, right? And I want people to know that it's okay if you're not a Christmas person, you know, and it could be for reasons that you don't have, you know, your family around you, or it could be any reason. But I know there's people out there that they really shut off and they won't go on social media because they don't want to see all the hype. They don't want to see all the, you know, and it could be what they haven't got. And I just want people to know that it's okay. Reach out to me, please. Because if it's that I need to build a little community of people to meet up on Christmas Day, you know, I will do it. I will do it. I don't like that there's people at home and they're just sitting there. Even that though, like I've just made that day just a day for me to sit and chill. And yo, they show Disney all day on there and I'm a Disney fan, so I'll just sit in front of the TV and watch Disney. Best, I'm living life. No veg on my plate, a roast dinner, mate, exactly what Sabrina said. If you're not a Christmas person, find the things you love to do and fill your Christmas day with doing all of those things. All of those things. Make the day about you. Make the day about you. Yeah? Sorry, I just had to share that, especially where there's a lot of people listening, because Christmas is a time where some people really shut off, you know, and I used to do that. And now I've found ways to embrace it and make it work for me.
Yeah, that part. So good. Thank you, Caroline, for this conversation and this check-in. I think it was so needed and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for you.
I'm so grateful for you. Honestly, if we carry on, I'm going to start the next episode. Oh my God, Sabrina! Welcome back, guys. I just love Sabrina. What happened?
It's going to happen, right? For the intro of the next episode.
Oh,
Thank you, my darling.
Thank you.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.